especially if it's higher ticket stuff, there are certain, well, not even high ticket, basically any information online. There's 3 key areas of time when people are going to buy, when they're going to be the most receptive to buy, right? Obviously, if someone's got an urgent problem, at any time they can want to buy. But in general, if you want to have a promotion or just a big push, or better yet, you want to capitalize on this opportunity that's coming, you need to be aware of these 3 time periods, and you need to have offers and marketing and all that fun stuff ready so you can really tap into that. So without further ado, I'm going to put on my old guy glasses and I am going to sketch this out for you. So this is information that I've discovered as I've been running my business. I've been in the game for over a decade now, and also seeing other people launching. These are the time periods that the launches happen. So just saying, this success leaves clues, as Tony Robbins likes to say. So the very first thing, let's just have a year, right? So this is January, and this is December, and this is summer, right? Summer, and then you've got your holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, kind of in this range. So think of it this way. People go through the holidays, they're sitting on their lazy butts, they're not being productive, right? It's a time of rest. And then the end of the year comes, and what happens? Everybody makes a New Year's resolution, right? So that means the first main buying period is very early January. You're going to see, especially people that are in the self-help niche, you're going to see everyone's like, hey, best year ever, and launching these big programs at that time. So that's going to be the first time period. Now, no matter what your niche is, this is a great opportunity for you to employ that kind of an idea. Like, hey, start the new year the right way, which means you need to have your program and your offer ready. Now, the second time is right before summer. So we just call this spring. Typically, you've got January, February, March. So really like April, May. That is the second time period when people are in a buying mode. So think of it this way. January came and went. They did not get their New Year's resolution done. They're not making as much progress. They're feeling pretty guilty. Summer's coming up and they're like, I'm not going to get nothing done in summer. So this becomes a hot time zone to buy. Now, summer happens. Summer, I can tell you from experience, summer is the wasteland for selling, especially high ticket. Nobody wants to do anything during summer. You want to go out and have fun with your family and loved ones and see nature, right? You don't want to be inside building your business, unless you're a psychopath like me. But the average person is not going to do anything during the summer. So your sales are going to slump. But when summer's over, especially if most of you guys should be marketing to adults, right? And the average adult, especially 35 to 55, which is kind of the sweet spot for selling high ticket programs. Those adults typically are going to have children, and typically those children, especially the younger the adult is, the younger their kids are, those kids are going to be going back to school in fall. So what you want to do is have a launch, prep it in summer so that in fall that sucker is ready to go. So those are our 3 time periods. We have 1, January, beginning of year, very early January, like the first week is when you have to hit it. And then we're going to have spring, second time period, and then we're going to have fall, the third time period. If you look at the big gurus when they did launches, now people pretty much do rolling launches now, but back in the day, like in the early and mid 2000s, 2010s, like Jeff Walker, who's a great, he's kind of the pioneer of the online launch. So Jeff always launches in spring, and he also launches in fall. So there you go. Those are the time periods that have been validated by plenty of business owners. So what you need to do, let me clean all that off. So we currently, as of me making this, it's August 2022. So that means you've got August, September, end of October is when you can launch. Now in the Visionary Planner, I'm not trying to sell you the Visionary Planner, but I've boiled down how to get this done in 90 days so you can have that offer ready. It's not going to be built, right? But you're going to have the pitch down and your marketing down so you can start you can let the world know about your offer, pre-sell them into it, and then fulfill it in the winter, as you roll out of Thanksgiving, basically, like early November. You can kick it off and then have a little pause for Thanksgiving, unless you're in Europe, right? And then fulfill it in December, January. And then the better part of that is if your offer is ready to launch, if you get it ready, like conceptually ready to pitch it in the fall, and then you get some buyers, now when you roll into that January period, you've got case studies. And then when you roll into the spring period, you've got more case studies. So this is like literally the best time in the world to get your offer out there to the world, to launch that sucker. So if we're going to break this down, Visionary Planner, again, I'm not trying to sell you a Visionary Planner, but the steps in Visionary Planner you should be very aware of. By the way, Visionary Planner is awesome. It's going to make you get through this 10 times faster, right? There's a lot of stuff you have to do. And what I've done in Visionary Planner is I've laid it out and made it step-by-step simple. So you just go one step at a time and you're not like, what exactly? Like, tell me, right? So I'm going to give you the big picture, but if you want the step-by-step, I advise you to go over to the Visionary Planner site. I'll put the link somewhere around here. So you just book a call with my team and just learn more about it, see if it's the right fit for you. If not, no worries. So here are the steps in Visionary Planner. Step one, you need to get clear on your lifestyle goals. So in the Visionary Planner, that's going to take you about a week. So step one, pretty easy to accomplish. You're also going to create a very basic business plan, meaning how many units do you need to sell to fund your business growth? Pretty basic. I'm not going to get into it, but it's not rocket science. Step two is all about your audience. You're solving problems for people. If the problem's not urgent and the client and the audience you're going into don't have money, you're going to be just fighting this uphill battle. And we get a lot of people coming into the planner and they've got this misconception. They want to have a low price offer and like, oh, Mike, I really, my audience doesn't have a lot of money and I really want to sell them a low price offer. And my stance is always this: if you want to serve people that don't have money, you're not going to have money. It's just the reality. So if that is really what you're passionate about, then you have to think of it more like it's a charity. And you need to fund that charity. You need to get donors to fund your charity so you can give that money back, the value back to the people that can't afford it. So let's say you want to have some $30 a month membership site and you want to have thousands of people in there. I'm telling you from experience, it's just as hard to sell somebody at $30 a month as it is to sell them like on a $3,000 program, right? So you're better off launching a high ticket offer, something that's several $1,000s, really dialing the sales process. Because to sell anything over $2,000, you're going to have to get that prospect on a call and close them, which means you got to get great at the pitch, you got to get great at sales, and you got to get amazing at fulfillment. These are all core things that once you dial that in and you've got the money in the bank, then you can go and take that money and start running ads, and you can go and do that lower price promotion where it's automated. Because you don't want to be having sales calls so you can sell somebody on a $30 a month program. Trust me, it sucks. I've done it. It's not worth it, right? Because you're going to usually have like a 20% close rate. So if you're going to talk to 5 people, which is going to be like 5 hours of your time, typical sales calls about 45 minutes, hour long, and then at the end of that, you're only going to get 1 buyer out of those 5. Would you rather get that 1 buyer to buy like a $2,000 to $10,000 program, or to buy a $200 or even $30 a month program, right? I'd rather get the high ticket money, put in the bank, and then automate and free my time by running ads into some sort of automated marketing funnel. Make sense? Okay, cool. So step 2, like I mentioned, is going to get you clear on your audience. Who are you serving? Very, very, very important. We get a lot of people getting on calls with my team and I, when they're thinking about the planner and they're not clear on their audience. They're like, oh, I do everything for everyone. And that's going to be the death knell for you. The reality is the only way to scale your business is to run ads or at least spend money on marketing. You can do influencer marketing. You can do Facebook groups, right? There's a lot of things you can do, but it's going to require a lot of time and money. And so if your sales messaging isn't super dialed down and your brand messaging isn't super dialed down, none of this works. So all these gurus out there that are saying, yeah, I'll get you 10 to 15 clients a month or a day, whatever they're promising. That can happen when you've got an 8-figure business. But if you're just starting out and you're not yet cracking that, if you're not in the $10,000 to $30,000 zone monthly, then you really don't have things dialed in yet, right? So you really need to think about the foundation for your business. And once you get the foundation, then you can go and scale it. So in full transparency, I've been doing this since 2016, but last year I just I had a restructuring in the organization and I had to make version 3. So I just started from scratch. I threw everything else out, the marketing, everything. And I went through the exact steps that I'm teaching in the Visionary Planner. And that allowed me in a 6-month period to get everything locked down and finalized. And it's by no means, I shouldn't use the word finalized because your marketing is always changing. Marketing is a conversation that you're having with your audience. So you're never talking at your audience, you're talking with them. Hence, your marketing should always be evolving. But getting back to this, I went through these exact same steps, and I went from 0 to 50K in consistent 50K months in just a matter of, I think, like 5 or 6 months. Right. And now I'm at the point in my business where I've done steps 1 through 4 of the planner. I drink my Kool-Aid, if you will. And now we're going into steps 5, 6, and 7, and 8 because I got an 8-step program. And we're using that to now expand and go to that next level, which is 150K a month. So these are the metrics that you want to hit. Now I've got other videos about how that all works, but suffice to say, you can't even get to the 50K mark or the 100K mark or the $1 million a month mark, all these crazy numbers people throw out. None of that is realistic in any way, shape, or form unless you have these foundational steps down. So going back, we have step 1, which is about you. Step 2 is about who you serve, your audience, and that also includes your visual branding and stuff like that. And then step 3 is all about your process, and your offer. So really quickly, if you're not aware of what a process is, that's where you look at what you do for your clients, the results that you get them, and you systemize it as best as you can. So a good example of that would be Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, or Visionary Planner. We got our 8-step process, right? So we just want to have a very marketable, clear, step-by-step procedure of how you serve your clients. And that becomes a basis for your content and also becomes a basis for your offer. So in the Visionary Planner, this should take you 90 days or less to get through these 3 steps. And then you're crystal clear on what your offer is going to be. You've got your marketing assets built, especially your content. And now you can go out there and start getting calls with people, getting them interested, right? Building relationships, and then pre-selling them into your program. So if you do this correctly, starting today, I don't even know the day. Hold on, let me check. It's Tuesday, August 9th, right? So if you get started on this right now, then by the end of October, when it's kind of like the tail end of that buying period, you can still tap into that. And again, you don't have your product built. So I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do all that in 90 days, Mike? That's crazy, right? You're still on holiday. It's August, right? You're still enjoying summer. It's not crazy because you're not going to make the product. You're going to pre-sell the product. If you can get people on sales, well, if you can't get people on sales calls, you don't have a business. If you can get them on the sales calls, but you can't close them because what you're pitching to them isn't sexy enough, then you don't have a business. So we don't want to go and make the whole product if we can't even sell people in advance on it, right? And now your objection might be like, but Mike, how's someone going to buy my product if it's not even built yet? Easy. You're selling them on that easy early access to you. They're co-creating the product with you. So when I do this, I always frame it like, hey, I haven't made the product yet. I'm going to co-create it with you. In other words, you're going to tell me exactly what you want, and I'm going to give you exactly what you want. And because of that, because it's not going to be like watching videos and stuff, we're going to be on live Zoom calls. I'm going to be working directly with you. You're going to get 10 times more access to me than people coming after you. So there's a huge value add. And on top of that, because I'm pre-selling this, I'm not going to charge you my normal price for it. I'm going to give you a substantial discount, like 50%. So instead of it being a 10K program, I'm going to charge you 5K, but you got to come through and commit so I can get some great case studies. So you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Makes sense? So when you do that, when you pitch it that way, it's very easy to go and pre-sell people because people are excited. Like, wow, this sounds really new and exciting. This is exactly what I want. And you're gonna like work with me and give me that extra level of attention so I can get results. It's a no-brainer for people. So again, we want to go through these 3 steps. It takes as little as 90 days, right? And then you're going to be ready in October to start pre-selling that. And then in November, December, January. So November, December, January. It typically takes, the typical program, especially if you're going to charge high ticket, should be 2 to 3 month program. So that gives you these 3 months to get the program built while you're planning your January launch. And that's where you really start putting fuel on the fire. Make sense? Okay, cool. All right, well, that's what I got for today. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop a comment below. And if you want to jump on a call with my team so we can walk you through this and see how it applies to your vision and your niche and your audience and all that fun stuff, then I'll also put a link and you can just book a call. No pressure. We just want to walk you through this and then see if it's the right fit for you. So that's it. All right, I'm signing off. Bye.